Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne, and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. Welcome to your daily sun sign love connection. Now, the first sun sign I'll be reading for, or the main sun sign, as I go around the astrology wheel for the second time already. It's mid-month readings. Wow, I don't know, just zippity-doo-dah, even during retrograde. So we're on Capricorn, and then the highlighted connection that I've been doing, for those that are new, a little introduction, is going to be right in front of you. I just pick it randomly. And then I read three, I want to say Cancer. It's like it's on a little bit of both. But Capricorn really kind of is resonating with me right now, and Cancer, I should say. So Capricorn's polar opposite, but it's really doable, and it's got a lot of beautiful energies with it. We're going to go there. I pull three major tarot energies and categories for this highlighted connection, and then I pick an extra card, a tarot card, for every other single zodiac sign in connection to Capricorn, because I just think it makes more sense. Yes, I love this connection, but maybe not all Capricorns are involved or interested in this specific random highlighted connection. So therefore you get a little bit of a energy read or message for every other one. So let's get going on this. I have a full day as a massage therapist at work, which I just have to say, it's just so beautiful to say after so many months. And I'm working this out and balancing this out so that I can absolutely do my readings, because it's very important to me. Now, the last couple of readings have been, I'm so sorry, it's just my verbiage is, it's like I have marbles in my mouth. I want to say it so clearly, but it's not coming out. So hopefully today will be better. I'm feeling great. My energy's good. So we're going to talk about Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign. We have a lot of major planets that have been in Capricorn this year, and I've said that many times. If you have heard the introductions, and I'm going to keep them a little shorter. I got to keep my videos a little shorter now. You would know that Jupiter is in Capricorn, Saturn has gone forward in Capricorn, Pluto. Those are the main outer planets that affect us. They're a little slower moving. They were in retrograde for a few months, and they all went forward again. And Jupiter is the main beautiful one. It's the planet that offers so much. It's such luck. It's such opportunity. It's expansion, and anything it touches and anything that happens in the Capricorn's life this year could affect them for the next 12, because it's every 12 years that Jupiter visits each and every zodiac sign. So Aquarius is next year, and then, for 13 months, and then onward and so forth. So all earth signs are affected too in a beautiful way, because there's that synchronicity and, fellow element. So, but Capricorn, it's been a rough year for a lot of us. I understand that, but for some reason in my mind, and even people I know that are Capricorns have still been working really hard, as they definitely do. I think that they've come across some definite opportunities, even if it's not happening at this moment. It's ideas that have come into their life. It's, like I said, opportunities and investment and such things of that nature. Capricorns are very, very steadfast, very hardworking, very capable of anything they put their mind to. They love authority, and they love to be in charge, and they usually do run their own businesses. And they're really good with being behind the scenes. Like, they don't need to be the center stage, but they absolutely kind of control a lot of things. And, they can be very subdued and not necessarily outwardly expressive, but they are very genuine, and they're very resourceful, and you want to be and have them in your life and as a friend, because they're incredibly loyal, and they're going to help you. Gender is of no concern. Both are equally like this. Are they set in their ways? Sometimes earth signs can be, but this is a mutable sign. The Capricorn is a mutable sign. So what that says is they are very adaptable, and they're open to change. Not as quickly maybe as other elements, but they're going to do it. They're willing to expand themselves and to, motivate others, and just, try new things and reinvent themselves. They are ruled by Saturn, which is, it's a strict one, It's there to help us to grow and to, stay out of the same rut, if you will. And that's important for Capricorns, and that is their ruling planet. So their whole life, they've had that kind of restricted discipline, kind of, eye on the prize focused mentality, and there's a good reason with Saturn. But Saturn is also the god of time, so there's a lot of understanding innately for Capricorns of understanding the need of patience, recognizing things do take time. Planning for a rainy day comes to mind. Just very grounded and very much a part of nature. They love nature. They love natural things. They love the earth. They love, planting. A lot of earth signs have great skills in gardens and, good food and keeping themselves healthy in a natural way. It's a beautiful sign, and they have a sense of humor, which I think I talked about right at the beginning of these readings, which I don't think a lot of people recognize because they're usually kind of subdued and reserved. But yeah, and they can be amazing actors, which makes them come out, right? They are amazing and beautiful people. Now, right across from them, once again, is the polar opposite, and that's your highlighted connection, and that's the Cancer. And that's the water, and that's the receptivity, and that's the sign that is a cardinal, which, by the way, did not mention, both Capricorn and Cancers are cardinal signs. What that means is they are the initiators. They begin the seasons. Cancer began summer, and Capricorn will begin the season of winter. And so, yeah, they need to be moving. They need to be doing stuff. It's like it's in their blood. It's in their, their DNA. It's hard when it isn't happening. And, that's why I think a lot of cardinal signs were kind of hit harder than other signs because of this pause that took place, and especially if they're used to moving, and even if it's in your family and keeping busy, and I know a lot of families were actually, so that might have been another reason why it was a little harder than most, because of the retrograde season this year. And my gosh, the eclipses, we mustn't forget those. In mid-June, beginning of June, 3 in a row, and June 5th, June 21st, and then July 5th. And interestingly enough, the June 21st, first day of summer, was the eclipse in Cancer. So there's been a lot of movement, a lot of mental and internalizing, especially in retrogrades for Cancer. And then again, we had the full lunar eclipse on this July 5th in Capricorn. So that was about being strong, being steady, being firm, being consistent, being permanent, making things permanent. And maybe the relationships. There's a lot of difference in these energies, which is why I think a lot of people gravitate towards each other, and I've seen it through many, many years. Water and earth actually are extremely complementary elements for each other. And, there's this need to nurture and to care for. When it comes to Cancers, they care greatly about their family and those that they consider family and those that are close to them. Overly sensitive at times, sometimes the earthly kind of down-to-earth, straight-in-your-face, authentic aspect of an earth sign can be a little harsh to some, sensitive, uber-sensitive Cancers. And I would say that there are certain times that the insensitivity comes in. Certainly when they're not feeling safe, you will definitely find those Cancers retrieving and removing themselves to a safer, protected environment. Also, the moon tends to let them more or less go inward even more so. So things, if you don't see them or speak to them, they're regenerating, I guess. They're feeling what needs to be felt. They're incredibly intuitive and psychic and capable of understanding very clearly the currents of life. The moon controls the tides, and it's water, and we're all water, and it's just all part of that. And it's beautiful. I consider it a beautiful gift, but it has to be catered to, and it has to have times where there's relaxation and release and so forth, which is what retrogrades really are for. And we're in one now. We've had Mercury in retrograde in Scorpio for a while. It'll continue until the 3rd of November, when it goes from being retrograde in Scorpio back into Libra on the 27th of October, and then forward again on the 3rd, election day. So with some shadow periods like there are on each side. Feeling like, we've been stuck in a lot of ways, even the Capricorn, and there's ingenuity, and their energy has been, just raring to go. And we had Leo season, which really sparked it. And we have, a very fiery energy from Mars being in Aries, but retrograde. So all about that holding back and reviewing and rethinking things in our relationships, in how we want to transform our lives with what's happened this year. And thinking in positive terms, because so many people are liking the change, believe it or not. They absolutely are feeling like, okay, it isn't the way I would have expected it by any means, and it's not necessarily, you know, easy, but I can see where it's going to actually have some better elements to it as soon as we work it out, which will take some time, you know, probably through next year. But either way, this is a gorgeous, beautiful, I would say deeply caring relationship between the two of you, and understanding the difference in the way that you perceive and see life. The water is emotion and it's feelings. The earth is grounded and stable and secure, which is really important. You want that stability. You want that grounded feeling around you. So I like it a lot. Let us read the 3 major categories regarding this particular highlighted connection for today. Today is July 23rd. July? What happened? Well, today is actually October 23rd. Just kidding. And so it'll be for today's energies, and hopefully you'll resonate. I can't promise you will, but you might with the other tarot messages that are coming around for every individual zodiac sign in connection to you as well. That is my hope anyway, because I want to bring you some upliftment and love and joy. You know, like when I receive the messages, I find them so inspiring that I have to share, and that's why I do this. It's very important to me. If you want to subscribe and you haven't, and you have that resonance with me, please do so. It's very, very supportive. I appreciate it so much. I will never take it for granted. It's always so changeable, you know, and day to day what's happening. But I plan on doing this for as long as I can, because eventually I won't be able to do massages. So yes, do subscribe and like, and we can converse, and we can, you know, you can leave comments, and we can get more involved and even more connected. So the first category will be put here, and I'll explain them, like I said, as we go along. I see repeats through this month very prominently, and they make sense. So the first category is under the overall energy for the 2 of the highlighted Cancer and Capricorns of the world. All different forms of love. I always like to make that very clear. And this is a general sun sign reading, because the sun sign is our you know, the day and month we're born. It's our personality traits. It's our interests, and it's the sun that gives us the vitality. You know, the day we're born, that sun is right there in our first house, and it's so beautiful. And then our birthdays, it becomes our solar return, and it's in that exact position. It's the invigoration and the desires and the real, I guess, energetic pull that helps us to feel that motivation. And so you have the, for the first card of overall energy, you have the Queen of Cups. There's that Cancer energy. There's the Pisces. Excuse me, Scorpio. See, words are going to just kind of come flying and flailing, and I'm going to be like, what? But at least I'm catching them. We have the Scorpio retrograde energy, and that's the water as well. So any water sign right now is going to be more feeling of these energies, but we all feel it. And then we go into Scorpios. We went into Scorpio season, which is their birthday season, right? That was the 22nd. I thought it started today. It can be a little bit of both, depending on what book you're reading from. But that is Scorpio. That is the depths of us. That is the transformation we want to see. That's the feelings we want to feel of realization, reality, bringing forth the truth. Okay, things are going to come to light during this season, and it'll be through November 22nd. And I really feel like that's being felt by certainly the Cancer in this connection, and certainly no doubt the Capricorn as well, because we all do. And let me just say that it is very, very loving and passionate, and it's from the heart. And it doesn't get much more emotional than it does when the water signs are involved. So I like this a lot. I feel it's very romantic, to be honest. That's the main connection that I'm picking up from this connection with Cancer and Capricorn. But it's a beautiful one, you know, and it's really feeling the maturity in yourself to be able to express and to give love and receive love, and being vulnerable, for Pete's sakes. It's not easy, but it's super important. And it feels beautiful. Love is beautiful. It's so incredibly powerful. The next combination, or the next category, is under the category of possible blessings or obstacles. And you have the Knight of Swords. So this is fast moving information coming through. And it's about air, right? Air is the mind, it is the words, it's the expression. And it could be just like straightforward. You got the knife representing the air signs because they're they cut away a bunch of the malarkey that's out there and they say what they're thinking, you know, and it has to do with law. A lot of times air signs like Libra, Aquarians, and Geminis are in law for a career because they want the fairness, the justice, the equilibrium, the ability to see both sides, strategize, you know, recognize situations and conversations and relationships from all points of view. But fast information, it could be extremely beautiful and optimistic. I don't know. You know, you don't really know, but it will be fair. And you're going to find out about it in one way or another. So I'd love to know. You know, this could be just about anything. And the only obstacle would be is that maybe you didn't want to hear about it quite yet. Maybe it was a truth, like I said, with the Scorpio energy and emphasis. That was just kind of like a shock. Maybe it came out of nowhere. But I still feel like it's good because it could pertain to, when it comes to air, it could be the swords mean money, institutions, like I said. It could have to do with checkups, your doctor, your health, your well-being. And you want to know about that information. That's essential, right? To keep feeling good and to have a good relationship, right? You both want to feel healthy on all levels. And then the last category is so perfect, it makes so much sense, is the category of finances, as well as just fundamental needs in our life, the tangible things, like I say, that we can see, feel, and touch. Our work, our families, you know, our jobs, our stability and our sustenance, you know, the food we may grow in our garden like a Capricorn would. And you have the Four of Pentacles. Well, there you go with the Capricorn energy. And it's huge for all of us this year anyway. It has been very, very prominent. It has really made us think and really understand the meaning and value of money. And that's essential because sometimes we undervalue ourselves. It is the need to be more cautious, which is what earth signs represent as well. You know, there's that just maybe being a little bit frugal almost, you know, keeping it a little bit close in, being careful not to over lend money, not to over invest right now. It's a very touchy time right now in the world. There's a lot of information we're still waiting to hear. It might be coming in quicker than you think. We had the new moon in Libra, we had a full moon in Aries on the 1st, and we have a full moon in Taurus, which, by the way, is going to be very compatible with both Capricorn and Cancer specifically. Very, very possible to just really light up so much for you and make you feel confident and make you feel like you're going in the right direction. You know, Uranus is a part of that, and Uranus is in Taurus, and Uranus is the planet that is unpredictable and surprises and good and otherwise and just, you know, instant sometimes, you know, it's just out of the blue. And that's what's a possibility on the 31st, Halloween, when the full moon is in Taurus. So money seems like it's there. It seems stable, but it seems like you don't want to necessarily be extravagant, overly extravagant, although I feel like there's been vacations happening more with the two of you and certainly in general for people while we're in this retrograde and we can't push forward as much as we want. Be careful of transportation. It might have, you know, some delays if you're traveling, you know, by air. And just making sure you have the tune-ups in your car and things like that. You know, those are the regular practical things we do in retrogrades, watching our communication and our appointments, you know, double checking them and making sure we write them down and, you know, and just variable things like that, you know, which will end. It's all, you know, temporary. But when it comes to finances, I feel really good. I feel like it's that 4, that's just stability. 4 is stability. And, you know, and this is a 4-year. How stable we feel, I don't know, but I know that it will lead to stability. Everything that's happening is for our better good. Hard to understand that at times, certainly for me. And then we look back and we go, yes, and thank you. So gratitude is important. Let me go on to each individual message for the sign of Capricorn. And let me just leave this here. It makes it easier. So we start with Cancer. I'm going to go clockwise and with Capricorn then and Gemini. And, you know, Gemini is an air sign, so Gemini is definitely always working and living through their mind. They love to learn, they love to educate themselves and others. They're very well, the archetype for Geminis is usually that of teachers, professors, writers, you know, bloggers, YouTubers, extremely capable with articulation and verbiage and getting their point across and sharing the information and really with this beautiful energy and vitality and wanting to be fair and caring and, you know, understanding of others' situations. They are a mutable sign, very adaptable, and they also are known as the twins. The duality is there. They're ruled by Mercury, so, you know, they may have a little bit of issues now with Mercury in retrograde because it's their ruling planet, and it's now, you know, in that pause state. But it's always a time to review, renew, and all these sort of things. So I don't ever see it as a negative per se. And it's only 3 weeks. It happens every year. It's nothing new. We make life work. Just being aware of that in this relationship as well. Your energy with the two of you is the Tower. Wow. And that is Uranus. That is indicative of a Uranus. And I just said, there's going to be some changes and they're coming out of the blue. And, you know, everyone gets frightened, and I understand that because I've had a lot of changes that came out of the blue. I didn't expect it all, and they weren't always pleasant. And it's because I didn't jump the gun or make it happen or make the changes occur on my own doing. The universe will set in and do that for you. And it could be in the world, in the earth, you know, there could be some interesting Mother Nature issues that come up, and we know that's happened, and the fire explains everything as well. And my prayers are out every day to everybody. And the world, I do Reiki energy, healing energy, and just knowing the foundation is still there, though. There's always that foundation, which is what we build everything on. It's imperative, right? So if the top comes off, it's supposed to, and then you rebuild, and like the phoenix, you rise again. And that's what's happening with you in Gemini in some capacity, whether it's your relationship, your work, some kind of family situation or whatever, and maybe ideas that you have that are brand new and changing and just better than ever. Because the mind is really prevalent, and you're a hard worker, and I think the two of you can really make beautiful things happen. Don't be afraid of the Tower. It's okay. We all have to go through those transformations, you know. It's just what we do in our lives. And then we go on to Taurus. I love that, you know, Capricorn and Taurus, both earth signs, very, very compatible in many ways, very strong-willed at times. You know, Taurus is a fixed sign, Capricorn is a mutable sign, but, you know, there's this groundedness where you don't want to necessarily move or budge. If you don't have to, you're very comfortable with the familiar and the routine, and people can rely on you because you just have this structure and this, you know, accountability. Which not everybody has, and they can always think, well, I bet if we go back 20 years, we'll still be having that party at, you know, such and such a place, and you will have parties because you do enjoy helping others and being generous with others. And Tauruses are ruled by Venus, which is the beautiful planet of love, money, luxury. Taurus is known as the money sign, as is Capricorn, and being resourceful. You know, together you can really amass great wealth. And maybe wealth in your love, because it's deep and it's long lasting. You know, when you have an earth sign in your life and you respect each other and you're authentic with each other, and it never ends. You know, all of the relationships I've seen to this date for over 30 plus years that I've studied and recognized in the compatibility aspect of astrology, many of them have been earth signs because they don't want to fight. They don't want to give it up. They are strong-willed. They want to have things last. And so what is your relationship together? Well, there you have the Emperor. Talk about strength and authority, which both of you are very capable of. And I feel like this does pertain with a lot of you, not everybody, to a partnership in work. Because this is really, really making it happen. This is the Emperor. This represents authority, paternal, masculine energy. And it could be a woman or a man. It doesn't matter the gender, but there's that part of us that comes through because we have this ability, this initiative. Aries are about movement and also a cardinal sign. So they are initiators, they're the beginners, they're the leaders, they are full of fire and passion. So I feel like there's a lot of information and ability with this. And by the way, Aries is, like I said, the depicts the emperor, but we are once again in a retrograde, Mars retrograde in Aries. So Aries kind of intentions and feelings are coming out in every sign, you know, that desire to just really be bold and really speak up for what we're feeling, and just being careful, especially during retrograde, because you may say things and you don't mean to hurt anybody, but you're feeling like this energy has to come out and you have to speak your truth. So, but it can be very, very good and successful in many endeavors. Then we go on to Aries and Capricorn, as I said. And what do we have? Because we already had a little indication there. Aries, once again, being, you know, the fire sign, number one. Very, very generous, very capable, not really interested in the slower paced, but regimented and reliable aspect of Capricorn. They're just, let's do this, man. Let's make this happen. Charge ahead, motion, movement. And that's very different, but it still works because you both want to succeed. You both want to do well, and you both want to be on top of your game and help others in the process. You have the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords represents, in some circumstances, a third party. And most circumstances, it represents the past, because the swords have already gone into the heart. So there has been a heartbreak. There's been a definite sorrow of some sort. I always recognize it as being the past. So maybe the two of you have something that's happened, you're kind of healing your wounds. If not this year, maybe from years ago. You're kind of taking it easy. The air signs are about, you know, the swords are about air signs. That's about words and communication. You don't want to hurt each other. Like I said, it can be very easily done. And Aries is in retrograde. It's introspective, and things come up and we feel things we don't normally feel. And words are spoken, you know, but it is temporary. Please forgive and, you know, and allow the love to come through. And, you know, if you are hurting, I hope that you heal soon, because everyone has their own time frame for that. And so, yeah, 3 has to do with, you know, growing and cooperation from others as well. So then we go on to Capricorn and Pisces. I love it. There's that water and beautiful, I'll show you in a second, beautiful synchronicity with the water and the earth, because you need water to water the earth, to, you know, plant the seeds for growth. And, you know, at the same time, water needs that stability, you know, because it can just move and it can go anywhere, right? And it needs to kind of stay sometimes. It needs to be firm. It needs to be grounded. Pisces in particular, they are so sensitive and they're very spiritual. And they usually have their head in the spirituality of life, and they need one foot on the ground at all times. So that's the beautiful connection of complementary energy I find with earth and water. And you're going to get that with Capricorn. And Capricorns are hardworking, and so are Pisceans. And Pisceans are extremely creative and artistic, and they want to go with the flow. They have this easy, just loving nature about them. They're just, and they can be hardcore too. You know, if they're in a mood or something, and they have that sensitivity where they're going, you know, two different directions, and it's kind of, they are a mutable sign. There's very changeable aspects to them, very adaptable aspects. But, you know, you don't want to get them in a mood because they will stand up for what they're thinking and believing. Trust me. And they are always giving. They're always giving. Once in a while, they need that back. So I think the Capricorn would be good for that. I really do. And you have the, sorry to put it out. I'll reshuffle this. I actually put out the 5 of Pentacles. I feel like this is a deja vu, because the 5 of Pentacles is reminding ourselves to not think about things that are self-defeating. And you know something? I want to say it because it's true, and I have a Pisces rising, so I'm not picking on any Pisceans, but there's an escapism and a kind of a self-defeated attitude when we're on the shadow side of ourselves and we're not feeling our balance. Back in the day, in the history of aspects of planets and the rulers, their Piscean was ruled by Jupiter. In the more modern times we have them ruled by Neptune. And Neptune is all about secrets and hidden agendas and, you know, not seeing things for what they really are, especially in retrograde, which is what it is in right now. We have Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So there's a lot of obscure kind of vagueness. But trust me when I tell you, in this relationship or in any aspect of a Piscean's life right now, that's going to come to the forefront. You're going to get a lot more clarity. Certainly, as you know, we're in Scorpio season where we dig deep and it just all comes up, and you know, we start purging our homes and getting rid of things that we don't need, and that's also the parts of us we don't need, and the self-doubt and self-talk that isn't beautiful and loving and caring. And I feel like that security from Capricorn and that support is going to be there for you. So just remember that, okay? It's a mind thing. It's a self-inflicted, you know, kind of thought process that we tend to do. We all do it. And knowing that right above you is those 5 of Pentacles right there for you. 5 is change, 5 is transformation if you want that to happen. And then we move on to beautiful Aquarius and Capricorn right next to each other. I see these couples many times, very different. You know, Aquarius is the air, once again, the mind, the innovation in, you know, interest in science and starting new things, jumping out of the box, independence, freedom, you know, setting their own, just beating to the sound of their own drum comes to mind. Eccentric comes to mind. They are a fixed sign, and they are also ruled by Uranus. And I explained to you earlier that with Uranus happening and being very, I want to say, hard angle to the full moon coming in Taurus on the 31st, Halloween, is Uranus, and it's going to just like really, I think it's exact, you know, the full moon in Uranus. Might be wrong. Boy, it's going to open up some things and just bam, and that's what's happening and has happened with Aquarius their whole life. It's just constant change and unexpected things, and sometimes they're phenomenal and beautiful. And it might just be that this time for the two of you. Let's see what well, you have the 10 of Wands, so that is hard work. And I know you do that, Capricorn, and I also know that Aquarians are very capable. They usually are leaders. They love to work in big groups, very, you know, great activists when it comes to people's rights and human rights. They're the sign of humanity. You know, there's the water barrier, wanting to give water to all, you know, and that we all are fed and clothed and treated fairly and, you know, equally and so forth is very much a part of all air signs, and definitely that of Aquarius. I feel like you've had a lot of responsibilities, even if it's been working from home, maybe doing the children and everything that happens, men or women. And it's the end of that cycle. You're starting a new cycle where you're saying, no, I can work smarter, but not more. And the two of you are taking some time in this retrograde to really focus on that and spend more time just loving and caring for yourselves is what comes to mind. So laying down those burdens. And then we come to Capricorn and Sagittarius. I love it because Sagittarius is a beautiful, optimistic, fiery sign. Sagittarius is about, you know, higher learning and education, and I think conversations can be amazingly beautiful and inspiring for the two of you when you want to work on a project or something. It's really, you know, Sagittarius get fired up. They're adventurous. They want to do all sorts of things. They will travel the world to see and experience things and to learn more and to educate other people. They are half man and half horse. They are ruled by Jupiter, so there's a lot of beautiful, benevolent luck and opportunities that come to them. And here you have Jupiter in your sign, Capricorn, so I feel some beautiful luck coming through. Let me see what your energy is. We have the moon. So a lot of people are like, the moon, it's hidden things, and we're in retrograde. There's a lot of obscurity. Once again, that's going to be revealed. Whatever's hidden in the situation between the two of you. Also, do keep in mind, and this is really important, and I love this description of it. It also represents our deep ability with our higher power to know and to feel and to understand our intuition and to sort things out within first, and not to get too caught up in what's happening in the outside world and the confusion that is happening as I speak. So I think it's very prevalent, and you know, we're about to approach our next full moon. You know, we just had the new moon, the next full moon's coming up in under 2 weeks. So there's a lot of energy and emotion that comes with it, you know, that's about the water. Representing, you know, Cancer. And so that's the highlighted connection this month. But yeah, this is a beautiful thing. Just being real and honest and listening to signs and information that's resonating and, you know, synchronizing with you. And just being still together is really, and seeing, you know, a different perspective. Trusting yourselves. Then we go on to Capricorn and Scorpio. Well, we just did Scorpio's reading yesterday. I barely was able to talk about anything. It was like, whoa, sorry. But we're in Scorpio season. Happy birthday, Scorpios. Every single one of you. You deserve every bit of happiness and joy. And I really feel magical things coming up for all of us because of what we've gone through. You know, with every ebb, there's a flow, there's an up, there's a down, and transformation is so innate and understanding in you, Sagittarius, Scorpio, see what I mean? Ruled by Pluto, which is all about the deepest transformation and the desire to change and to better ourselves. I'll try to simplify what I'm trying to say. That always helps. The Scorpio is so incredibly passionate, and there's deep romance and mystery and dedication as well, hardworking. They really put their heart and soul into it, very, very loyal, sometimes a little possessive of their love. So if this is love, you got to accept that. But you know what? The two of you could really be very, very good together in many, many ways. Let's see what your energy says. 7 of Cups. There's the water. There are the many opportunities and possibilities that are coming forth this year for you, Capricorn. The worst thing you could do is to be so overwhelmed with all the opportunities that you do nothing. Narrow it down to a couple. That's always the wisest thing you can do. You know, focus on 1 or 2 things. The energy will be stronger. You've got that help from Scorpio. That's the water, the emotion, the drive, you know, the passion is there. So yeah, just you can make anything you want out of your life. You know, the opportunities are endless, and that's what's being presented to the two of you. So I like that a lot. And then you have Libra and Capricorn, and yeah, many marriages I've seen this. I have not that many Capricorn friends. It's generally, to be honest, been feminine, although I take that back. The love of my life was January 20th, so in some respects that is a Capricorn. In other books and so forth, depending on, you know, tropical or other types of astrology, it is an Aquarius. So it's on the cusp. And I mean, now he was the love of my life, right? Until I met others. But yeah, it was undeniably like one of those karmic things, and faded, and it just felt so right. So as a Libra that I am, I understand there's a great compatibility. Once again, the stability, if nothing else. Libra looks for balance. You know, we just got out of Libra season. It's about balancing everything. And without that, Libra's not as fulfilled or as whole as they can be. And it does affect them when their relationships aren't working. It just does. It's very important to them, as well as their mind and their thoughts and all the things that come with the air signs. Let us see what's going on with this. I'm curious myself. There you go. You have Justice, the major arcana, which is representative and the archetype for Libra. Peace, harmony, balance. You know, this is what you strive for, Libra. This is what you enjoy as well, Capricorn. So if it's been off balance, it's good. It feels right. We all have to go through those times, you know. And when it gets back to the right and the harmony, it just feels like this is the best thing that I could ever strive for. I'm glad for the times that may not have been that way. It just makes the times that are so much better. And then we move on to Virgo. I love this. Capricorn and Virgo, 2 earth signs again. Virgo is incredibly dedicated, and they're a mutable sign as well. See, both are very adaptable, and I like that. You can change jobs and reinvent yourself, and you could be, well, Virgo only wants to do the best in anything they do. They're very hard on themselves at times. They're perfectionists, and they are known as the Virgin, because they are so authentic and they want to genuinely care for people, you know, just for the sake of caring for people. They're usually in the service field of doctors and you know, lawyers and people that can absolutely help. And they do. They're very knowledgeable and very capable, very practical, very organized, very structured, you know. I love these two together. And if there are differences, it's only because of nature versus nurture. Not every single sun sign in that same is going to be the same, but you have something starting out that works. It's a predisposition of the two being the same element that will work. Nine of Pentacles. The labors, the fruit of your labors, the independence that it took to get there. Both very independent signs, both hardworking and both understanding each other for that and accepting that. You know, maybe you only have one date night a week, but doggone it, you know, you've got so much love and passion for what you do, and you know, it's just what you love to be and do. So you're not going to stop. You're going to allow things to come in, you know, time to spend together, but hey, hopefully you're working in the same job too. That helps when you work together. But you both get it and you love each other regardless. So this is absolutely beautiful. You know, wishes fulfilled, just really feeling very, very stable in your finances, in the practical parts of life. You've earned it. Then we go with Leo and Capricorn. I see this too, you know, the fiery part of Leo, the leader, the pounding on the chest with pride and dignity, and you know, this is the way it goes, and roaring to the world because they love to be center stage, they love the attention. Very, very caring though, very capable, very artistic, very creative. Yeah, as long as you can handle that fiery temperament at times, Capricorn, because you're really different. When you have anger, yeah, you get mad. It takes a lot, but when it happens, it's like, it's big, you know it. And you don't forget about it necessarily right away. But the Leo is just like, rah, and then it's done, you know. So just accepting that and loving each other. What is your message? Leos are ruled by the sun. That is the sun sign, right? That is their energy and vitality personified. You can't miss it. There you go. 5 of Wands. There's the fire. You know, just working through a lot of controversy is the best way to put it. And I don't think it's between the two of you. I think it's the world and you two saying, nope, I'm not going to let that person or this situation stop me. Yeah, we had to stop. Yes, we were shut down. Done there, been that. What are we moving on to next? That's the energy, that's the feeling. And that's what keeps you going in life, you know, having the initiative or the ideas or the inspirations, you know, the intentions. So I like that a lot. That never scares me. It just shows that drive that is there between the two of you. And I really like it. And just knowing you'll overcome anything. A lot of this controversial and all the chaos will change and go away. And we're back to Cancer again. So I like that a lot. And I feel like the majority of your connections now are doing extremely well. With, of course, some sensitivity in there, which is inevitable. You know, the losses of this year and the sadness, it's going to creep up. But you're not one to necessarily want that to be a part of what you're thinking. So I see that you are doing a really good job of living in the present and working towards the better things that are coming our way. And so now I'm going to be reading your 2 beautiful oracle messages from a couple of my decks that I absolutely love. The first is the Wisdom of the Hidden Oracle, as I call it, Baron Reed. So this is for you, Capricorns, and just wishing you, honestly, the best always, and showing you that I care and appreciate your dedication and your hard work and caring. So for you and all of your connections, your specific message is to the sea. Well, that goes really well with your highlighted relationship and connection with Cancer, because Cancer love water, they love sea, they just revel in it. That's their energy, that's their healing, right? It's very rare that they don't, but so it's number 7, and that's lucky 7, you know. Beautiful illustration, but I'm going to read you. Ooh, there's the beautiful higher power. Could be you. That knowing that's up there and always with us, that, you know, that energy, that source, whatever you want to call it, guiding you. And that energy that comes, like I said, in the healing from the ocean, just the literal energy and scientifically noted healing, and an incredible world in itself beneath the sea, right? So we have number 7. That's 4. Okay, we're almost there. 6 and 7. They're all so new that I don't really know. I can tell and pick up on the energies from the card, but it says essential meanings: being in flow, returning to source, and recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. And there's that natural part, because that's where you resonate, Capricorn. You get the natural flow and understanding of life. The Oracle's message: isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life? When events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless. This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity, oh my gosh, Capricorn, formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. It is your year. And I love that. I'm kind of speechless. It says everything it needs to say. And I appreciate that. And then I'm going to finish with your Super Attractor Manifestation card, which I also consider to be like a mantra you can use, or your certain affirmation of happiness, to bring in that energy of happiness, that feeling that creates our lives, okay? That really helps us to manifest more than anything else, is to feel it into our reality. You don't have to believe in the woo-woo part. It's just, it is what it is. You're manifesting every moment of your life, but intentionally feeling and writing down something, especially on the new moons, will really help it to manifest quicker. And by the way, right now we're in the veil is thinned during October, as it does every year. Really put it out there, and don't be surprised how quickly it will be returned. I love this because it's really that beautiful. See, this is you. This is that root chakra, the grounding, the permanence, the stability we all strive for and all want in our lives in some form or another. True manifesting is about receiving what is of the highest good for all. It's so relevant to our life in the world right now, because we all experienced what we did together like never in our entire lifetime. So always keeping that in mind, and I feel you are that type of person that's very giving and very caring, and this is what it's saying, you know, that's going to bring you beautiful, beautiful things as a side effect. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope you resonate with some part of it and more than not, and I love and appreciate you being here. So come on back, because I'll be here. You know, I do them during the beginning of the month, and you know, certain other days you're going to have your connection with another sign. Like tomorrow we'll be going into Aquarius, and then all the individuals. So come on back. I would appreciate it. Just let me know you're here. And until next time, take care, and thank you, and bye for now.